James always listens to the conversation that's not being had. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to put my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Okay, so, but what we're in here to talk about, I don't know if all of you have actually seen this interview. Tasha K, Tasha been on the break or whatever, and she bust out on the scene. She has this whole interview. We know, I actually talked about it in Swipe Left this afternoon, that I talked about it in Swipe Left this afternoon, that Wendy Williams has actually filed for divorce and all of that. And now then I look up and I'm getting all these emails and it's saying, wait a minute, Tasha K has actually done this interview with this fella who basically claims infidelity. Call Me Nikki just did a super chat, says showing love from Atlanta. Come on, ATL. Thank you, Miss Nikki. Thank you, baby. And I'm like, okay, all right. And it was a long interview, and I watched. Now, I'm a fan. I'm definitely a fan. So I'm not here to bash Tasha. So I just want to put that out here. Y'all know that ain't even my style. It's not what I do. It's not how I get down. I'm not here to bash Tasha. But the interview was so... Hey, Miss Blue. Miss Blue did super chat. Hi, baby. The interview was weird and questionable, to say the least. Very, very questionable. It was bridging on how this guy, who very talented guy, he's a singer, he's obviously some type of... He went viral on YouTube. Definitely could sing. He's definitely talented. Definitely talented. Thank you, Miss Mimi. Mimi126 did super chat. Says, love you, James. Love you. Right back, baby. This young fella is definitely talented. But there's some other issues with him. He is delusional at best. Very much delusional young man. Very much delusional. He got a whole lot of issues. A whole lot. I kind of have some fear in my heart for him. Hey, Miss Ebony. Ebony, she just super chatted. Says hi from North Carolina. Love you, James. Love you back, baby. Come on, NC in the building. Miss Kitty. Hey, baby. What's up? Always there. Always there. Hold me down. Yeah, he's delusional. One, you're running around, you're singing, you got this beautiful voice, and yes, you went viral and all of this stuff, but you're a carbon copy of Brian McKnight. We already have a Brian McKnight, so we really don't need you. So I don't think a lot of what's going on is why your career hasn't kicked off. Your career hasn't kicked off because we don't need another Brian McKnight. We got Brian McKnight and he got two sons that sound like him. We don't need a third oddball that sounds like Brian McKnight. So that was my first thing that I got when I actually looked at him. And I was like, And then we got this wife. And then let's go into that. Yes, Cynthia. This whole situation about him having a condition that was similar to being a hermaphrodite. Okay. And I said, remember, I just told y'all the other day, James always listens to the conversation that's not being had. I was wondering when he first came on, why did he throw that out? I said, why is he throwing that out there? Why is he throwing out that he has this condition? And then he never went back to it. He never went back to it, and he didn't go any further into it. And I didn't understand Tasha, I told you I'm a fan. I like Tasha, but as an interviewer, Tasha don't knock me out. Tasha be missing some stuff. There's some things like she didn't zoom in on that thing really much at all. Tasha got in her feelings, and that's one thing that she does. Hey, Asia, one thing that Tasha does, take you out of it, Tasha. Take you out of it, baby. Get to the shit. Take you out of it. Tasha can't take herself out of it. She went in to a whole segment where she started talking about how she would never marry or be dating a bisexual man or a man that literally, has a thing for other men. As an interviewer, one, nobody cares. Two, it's not about you. Three, when you're going to do interviews, you're supposed to stay non-biased. You're supposed to stay non-biased. So you got to take yourself completely out of it. When she did that and she put herself in, it literally, she just threw me off, because now you put me in a position, now I'm side-eyeing you and looking at you, and you got all these issues. Come on, Tasha. And again, I've been a fan. I ain't here to bash her. She cool. But you got all these issues about gayness, and it's just like, why are you just on the damn Queen Supreme Court? All right, Tasha, whatever. But yeah, journalism 101 is you have to take yourself out. You can't be involved. Interviewers sit back, they pull, they ask the questions, and she's perfect for asking the hard questions, because she's so, she has an approach to where she don't give a shit. You know what I mean? She don't care about hurting your feelings. So she's perfect for asking the hard questions, but she just got to learn to take herself out of it. I don't do interviews on my channel much. I could do it, but my platform is built on how I feel about things. So, that's my judge, is how I feel about things. So that's why I don't do like interviews on stuff, because I'm going to tell you how I feel, and don't nobody care when you're interviewing. James, stop playing. I was just catching up on your no refunds. You go back to that in a minute, Mr. Piptide, because that's still going on. But so let's break some of this down. So the little guy's name is Avion. He can sing and all this. He basically claimed that, hey, Miss Wendy, he basically claimed that from listening to, and he was all over the place, but the gist of it is that he basically, it felt to me like he should be part of the Me Too movement. You know what I mean? He was going really, really deep into these different things that actually happened with him, as pertains to Wendy Williams' husband. Hey, EJ. Hi, baby. Welcome. Ishmael. Thank you so much. Ishmael did super chat and says, so messy. Just finished watching it. Let's pray. Kevin Jr., that's a lot to handle. Hope he stays away from the headlines. Happy Saturday, James. Thank you, baby. Definitely. I hope, he's not going to be able to stay away from this. He's, but, I just pray comfort over that baby, because it's going to be really a rough couple of months for that child coming up. But I got a feeling that he's a bit stronger than his mother and his father. Over the years, I've kind of pulled that from him. So hopefully he's okay. Yeah, so we go into this whole thing. This guy, he basically, and at some points, it felt as though it was like a Me Too movement situation. Like he had been, he said, I've been taken advantage of, and like he was forced to have sex with Wendy's husband. He was manipulated. It was like he's basically forced physically in some points, then manipulated, the whole like R. Kelly thing. I'm going to make you a star situation, all of that. And it was like that. But then the part that was throwing me off was there were other points of the interview where it didn't feel that way at all. It didn't feel that way at all. It felt like he was a scorned lover who is not getting his way at this point. Goddess Wisdom TV did super chat. Thank you, baby. Said same thing. Same thing I said. I need him to find his own voice. And yes, he may come up missing if Calvin is crazy, as they say. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because they put that out there that this man is so crazy. He's an egomaniac. He's narcissistic and all these things. But you are speaking like a girlfriend that is very, very upset. And even when you have a man that is evil like that and you feel slighted, sometimes the girlfriend will still come out and say what she got to say, knowing that she might get busted up. And that's what I got from him. Then the wife, what was her point? Because I just seen her as a good Judy. She was a good Judy. She was a beard at best. She's sitting there and she was uneasy with some of the stuff that was coming out. And then she just, like she had practiced what she needed to say. And I wasn't feeling her. I felt like she's a little opportunistic. And they're talking about they got married. I think that's some of his own little personal issues. I definitely felt a sense of self-hate on him. And that's where I said I would go back to the whole condition that was similar to being a hermaphrodite. I believe that was a cop-out. I believe it was a cop-out and a way to soften the blow of you coming out here and saying, yes, I'm that way. Okay? And you were very much comfortable with your gayness as it pertains to sex, but not actually living and walking in your truth. That's what I got. But remember, I've been walking in this for 47 years. I know I confuse one of the girls when I see it. I know the girls that ain't comfortable with themselves, honey. And yes, he was one of the girls. And he was offensive. I took offense to him. Absolutely. I would jump out in a rally with the rest of the LGBTQ trying to do anything for him because I felt as though he was frowning down upon us in the midst of his thing. You know, oh, I'm comfortable with me. Oh, I'm just me. You won't even take a side. He didn't want her to say he was bisexual. He didn't want her to say any of that. He just, I'm a human. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? But you're up on there talking this talk. You already know what it's going to be. And like I said, delusional at best, because if you weren't getting anything, you could believe that you ain't going to get nothing now. You're not. You want to be over there, literally, he wants to be recognized in the hip hop, cross, R&B. Baby, they don't do your kind. They don't do your kind, and you know it. Hey, now, they don't do your kind. So this was like a shot in the foot. And again, I'm kind of afraid for him because I can't imagine if Kevin is the person they claim that he is. I can't imagine him just letting this roll. Any man that literally comes up into a place and just rips the covers off of you and run on up in you, because isn't that how it was explained? He said he came in, first of all, everybody was a bit too comfortable. You said you were staying at the condo that Nikki or Sharina, the woman that just had the baby for Mr. Kevin, the side chick. You were staying with her, so y'all were good Judies. You were staying in the condo with her. You spent time with her. Y'all hung out. Y'all good Judies. And y'all both know y'all both screw with the same man. Okay. That's pretty gay, boo. That's pretty gay. And that's pretty comfortable gay. That ain't even hiding gay. That's pretty comfortable gay. And it seems as though he had enough money to pay everybody to be whatever it was he wanted them to be. Just like you kept referring to yourself as a boy toy. I've never never run into true live bisexual closeted men who would ever refer to themselves as a boy toy. They would feel as though that was beneath them. Hey, Michelle's daughter, she just did super chat, says kisses and hugs right back at you, baby. So I was like, that's strange. Very, very strange. He was all over the place, all over the place. And the wife was just way too unbothered. I'm telling you, I felt like it was very opportunistic. I felt like she is there as a cover up to, he's trying to build this look. I'm married. See, I'm married. And I was done with him, completely done with him when he sat there and he said, I don't look gay, do I? And Tasha's like, well, no, Tasha K, what does gay look like, girl? Tasha, what does gay look like? Because Tasha, I think, thought he was a little cute. Tasha was a little smitten with him in the beginning, I believe. And the more he talked, the more her, well, I don't like that, came out. But Tasha, even when, we are homosexual or we're bisexual, there's even the males of the LGBTQ community, we are still males. And contrary to popular belief, there are women that look at us and they still have an attraction for us. Just like we look at you and still have an attraction for you. But, it doesn't go to a sex place. And I felt like Tasha was smitten with him. Tasha was just as happy. And when he was saying, she was just, woo, I said, girl, go ahead. It was cool. And that's natural. That's natural in the grand scheme of heterosexualness. That is natural. You see, he's a cute little fella. He's a cute little fella. He really is. Name is Trina Gates. Thank you, baby. Trina did super chat. It says, love you, James. Love you back, baby. Yeah, I felt it. I was like, I feel you, girl. He was singing that thing, baby. He hit that run. Ooh, I didn't massage. She said, ooh. I said, okay, girl. Ain't no thing. Ain't no thing. I have girlfriends all the time to tell me, if you were straight, baby, I'd tear you up. And I'm about gay as they come. You mess around, you look, honey, I'll be in beads and baubles, honey, and running. But it is what it is. It doesn't change what God gave me. My shell is that of a male. That's first. That's what you see first. So that was that whole thing. But the more I sat down and listened, he sounded like a scorned lover. He's threatening. He's saying he's going to sue him. And he's using terms like, do the right thing. Do the right thing. Give me what I want. That doesn't sound like someone who has been abused on that level. Hey, Antonio, what's up? That doesn't, that none of what he had coming out said, I've been abused on that level. It was very manipulative. It was very, the other chick. Hey, Miss Wanda, the super chat says, my favorite YouTuber don't. Thank you, Miss Wanda. It just didn't, I didn't get victim too much. There were some things that were, not really my thing, but again, it was that whole thing of, I'm going to do what it is I need to do. Yes, Faya, he was in love. That's what I felt. Thank you, Darren. Yeah, that's what I got. He gloated in the fact that he had messed with Kevin for so long and Wendy didn't realize it. He thought it was cute. Oh, yeah, she never knew. She didn't know. He went back and forth. He said, women who got men who mess around, they know. They know when they screw their man. They could tell. And then he turned back over, and on the other side, he was saying, oh, no, yeah, me and Wendy, yeah. And we was cool. Me and Wendy was cool. Me and Nikki, we was cool. And I got, thank you, Miss Wanda. I got at a point that like nobody knew, and he was running around. He was the dirty little secret. You was a dirty little secret, and you were okay with it. You were okay with it until you stopped getting your way. He was buying you clothes. You said he was taking you sending you to the spa, and you were getting your nails done and all. You know who does that for me in the past? Whenever I did date, and I dealt with guys that sent me to the spa or sent me to get my nails done or bought me pick the garments. And boy toy. Because that's all that is, because you can't date the trade. And all you folks who are gay, you know what I'm talking about. You can't date trade. You could be that boy toy. You're the side chick. He was the side chick. I think he got jealous. There was too much. And this whole thing, see, Miss Nikki's winning. She got a baby. She's winning. She's winning right now. Okay, Michelle told y'all, you can't compete with no baby. Never will. Never will. It was very messy to me. And I still say that the hermaphrodite condition thing was nothing but a cover-up to make the general public feel sorry for you and say, oh, this is something, he's not really gay. There's something going on with him that he don't have any control over. There's nothing he could do about, baby, listen, gay. I don't give a darn how it doesn't give you, it's not an excuse. It is what it is. Your chromosomes are no different than mine. I wasn't born with both. I'm born with all the male stuff. I didn't get the female stuff. But when I make my choice that, oh yeah, I'm more attracted to males, ain't no excuses being handed out. It is what it is. I'm more attracted to males. I act on that. That's what I do. Okay, boom. I'm part of the LGBTQ. I'm the G part. You decide you're going to deal with women and you're going to deal with men. Okay, you're the B over there in the LGBTQ part. And you're pretty much just an L over there, but you ain't the lesbian part. You're a liar. He was just very suspect to me. I couldn't get into him. Very much scorn lover is what I got. Very much so. Yeah, and he was such a turnoff. That whole thing of lurking around in the shadows and thinking that it was cute, that says a lot to me about your character. You down to the Wendy show singing happy birthday to your wife-in-law. And Tasha approached that. She said, well, how did you feel when you were down there singing happy birthday? Was you mad at him? And then he kept going back to this. Well, no, I'm not, I don't want to say this about Wendy because I'm not mad with Wendy. This is about him. I ain't got no beef with Wendy. This is about him. But at the same time, in the very first part of the interview, you drug Wendy. He drugged Wendy, talked all up underneath her clothes. I thought it was very distasteful and very disrespectful. Said that her box was too loose and too big, and that's why he couldn't, that the husband couldn't satisfy her because he was too small. I said, you done drug them both. And right then I said, she's upset. As soon as she's upset. What you mad for? And I knew that you were you're comfortable with the actual sex acts. I just don't think you're comfortable walking in your truth. Because when he went through the whole thing of, he was saying how, oh, I've mastered both. Did y'all catch that? How he said he had mastered how to deal, like he thinks he's the shit. I've mastered how to deal with a woman and how to deal with a man, and I really have mastered more so how to get up in a woman's mind. You think that's cute? You think that's cute? That ain't cute, sis. That ain't cute. And the wife sitting there eating up all the grapes, looking foolish. And I said, now that's the worst thing in the world. That was something that stuck out to me. Now, he was all neat and clean and all put together, and I looked over there at the wife, and she looked like an old vagabond or old washerwoman. I said, really? Now, that's the one thing that you can do. if you're going to be bisexual or you're going to be gay and you're going to have a beard as a wife, the least you could do is dress the bitch up. Dress her up. She should be sickening. When she hits the streets, your wife should be sickening. Sickening. It should be a Beyonce, Jay-Z moment every time y'all hit the street. It shouldn't be you standing over there looking like Carl Thomas and she looking like bag lady. Because that's what she looked like. She looked like a bag lady. Her hair wasn't done. She had some shit on her head. She eating up all Tasha's grapes. I know Tasha was mad as hell. Said, girl, she ain't left you much cheese, Tasha. You know Tasha was hungry when she got down with that interview. Tasha pregnant. I said, Lord, is she still pregnant or did she have a baby? She ain't had a baby yet, did she? I think she's still pregnant. Just a mess. It was a mess. It just wasn't good. Wasn't good. It just seemed like there was a lot of arguments and disagreements over funds. A lot of promises being made. Come on, baby. You know, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give it to you. I got you. I'm going to write you a check. But if it was bouncing checks, I said, oh, wouldn't have been my boyfriend. Wouldn't have been my boyfriend. If I got to be your dirty little secret, there's no way you want to be bouncing checks. If I'm going to be an old opportunistic hoe on the side and I'm going to play that role, then I'm going to play that role. Ain't no way you can write me no rubber checks, man. God. Is you kidding? I said, child, he was writing her bounce checks. Them checks was bouncing. Like I said, you playing jacks or what? A mess. And I just think he just got mad. I really do. I think he just got mad. And where have we seen this before? We've seen this before. But I thought all the talk up underneath their clothes, I thought was very, very distasteful. And, you know, I could be rude. I was sitting there and I was saying, okay, so you done told us about Kevin and that he ain't no good and that Wendy's box is big and wide. Okay, well, I'm interested now because you just said that you was a hermaphrodite. I want to know, is you, girl, what's going on? Are you really, really wet? And are you really, really big, girl? Tell us about what you got going on. And the wife was sitting over there. I want to know. I'm like, come on, girl, what's going on? Because if he got everything, you talk about everybody else. Let's talk about yours. Because I think that's a more interesting conversation. Tasha ain't asked that. See, that's the hard questions. That's what I'm saying. Tasha raunchy enough to ask some shit like that, but she probably just didn't think about it. I need to get her on speed now because I would have told her, girl, go in, Miss Thing. Go in. Go in. But those were questions, you know, for the way he was talking. He didn't come across very likable. Not for me. I don't know. Let me look at this chat. Y'all tell me, did he come across likable to you all? I seen down in the comments on the video, a lot of people were saying they believed a lot of what he was saying. I didn't doubt the things that he was saying. And I was waiting for him to reach for Charlemagne. Baby, I was waiting for him to reach for Charlemagne. I said, oh, because you know, Charlemagne's petty. Charlemagne's a whole different type of petty. I said, if you reach for Charlemagne the God, honey, he's going to windmill you down, sis, and I will be right here for it. Victim shaming, James, stop. You think I'm victim shaming? And why do you feel that way? Because I don't think he's a victim. So that's where that is. So I have to debunk that, babe. I don't feel as though I'm victim shaming Angel at all because I don't feel like he's a victim. I don't feel like he's a victim. I feel like he's a person who was in a relationship. He was a dirty little secret, and you were the bad part of the relationship. So anything that came your way was really on you. Anytime you knowingly are sleeping with a married man, smiling in his wife's face, and being friends with his side piece, smiling in her face, how is it that you could be a victim? How could you be a victim? If anything, you're victimizing people. And it seems to me like he sold his soul to the devil. You sold your soul to the devil. You knew that man's, you knew his MO. He showed you who he was early on, and you continue going. This has gone on for a while. As we were listening, this has been going on for like years. They're going back. This is 2018. This is 2007. This has been going on. So how's he a victim? He ain't no victim. You know who the victim was? Their son. They got to sit around and listen to all this mess on the internet, because more and more you get through it, seems like at some point, and he wasn't gay for pay. He was just there for pay, period, because he was gay anyway. I ain't even buying that. Listen, when he went through those sexual acts, when he said that man, dig this, follow me, come, follow me, my loves. When he said the man rolled I sleep nude. My wife will tell you that. I sleep nude, I walk around nude, he's all that because he's a shit. He got that high esteem about his body and who he is and what he got and how he can work it. He sat in there, he said he was laying in that bed now, and he came in, he yanked the covers down off of him, pulled him down, spit on himself, and ran up in him. You never heard nothing about him aching, paining, needing to go to the doctors, having a rape kit. You didn't hear anything about any discomfort at all. He was mad at the fact that he said that the man ejaculated in 2 minutes. That sound like a victim to you? Does that sound like a victim to you? Or does that sound like the side piece who got the same type of box as the wife? A little wide and a little juicy, and she didn't get all that she wanted either. Then he even threw out there, said that Wendy allegedly was cheating. I said, Wendy ain't even got nothing to do with that. You threw her under the bus. She in the midst of a divorce, and you throwing that mess out there. No, Lita, you know I don't miss nothing. I be listening for the conversation that ain't being had. He ain't no victim, child. He's a slick, sly little slut is what he came across as. You sent me an email. Okay, EJ. Yeah, I don't feel sorry for him. Not at all. Not at all. Exactly. He wants out of his contract. He wants to move on because his house of cards is falling down. The house of cards is falling down. And didn't it seem as though, y'all, everything started to go left when the baby came? Now, come on, y'all. Count backwards. Count backwards. When there started to be a baby, because you can't compete with no baby. I don't care how much good boy stuff you got. You can't compete with no baby. You knew you wasn't going. Oh, he spent 12 hours with Nikki and he spent 12 hours with me. That's a lie. Because at some point he was with Wendy. And I could just imagine now if you got to make some choices, you in some issue, you in turmoil with your wife. And that's going to fall down. And you got this woman. Now she got a baby. And then you got your little boy toy. But the turmoil with the wife is going to mess up the money, right? Y'all following? The turmoil with the wife going to mess up the money. So if you got to figure out what you're going to do with your money, who got to go? If somebody got to go, baby can't go nowhere for 18. The baby can't go for 18. And I promise you, the namesake, even though the namesake is 18 years old, he not going to mess with that namesake. I'm sure he loves that older boy. That's his namesake. So who got to go? The Brian McKnight knockoff. That's who. That's who. Yeah, the money, and he moving on because he know the money get ready to dry up. The little bit of money that you were getting is getting ready to dry up. He's trying to get ghosts and trying to get something going on. But yeah, and again, with all of this, even before he came out, there was going to be some issues with you career-wise going forward. But now that you came out and did this whole interview and all of this, baby, you just threw your child. Listen. It's like you threw your career in the garbage. I mean, I hope the best for you, but I don't see it. I don't see it. Your mouth is too slick. Your mouth is too slick. And that's side chick 101. I don't care what goes down. You don't tell the story. You keep the story. You take the story to the dirt. Take the story to the dirt. Whatever it was. Whatever stupid things you did, whatever stupid things you went for, you take it to the dirt. But no, you up here with Tasha K. Tasha K gonna keep getting her check on the 22nd of every month. What's gonna go on with you, sus? You went viral once. You better try to do it again. Or maybe went viral a few times. Girl, you better try to do it some more. Because I can't even imagine when all of this come out. Who's gonna jump out there with you? Who's gonna jump out there with you? You talk too much. And I do believe him. I don't believe that he was lying about anything. I think he's a little delusional. I do think that. But I don't think he really, lied too much. But I was really done with the, do I look gay? Yes. You sure do. Sure do. You look like the sweeter version of Carl Thomas. Sure do. You just as cute as you could be gay, girl. It looks like, wow, a mess. But yeah, Tasha, I couldn't let Tasha go without getting her. I had to smack her on her wrist a little bit because you did came across a little, I don't know, Tasha. That was like you was skating that phobic line, girl. You gotta watch that. Watch that. Thank you, Miss Ashley Monet. Yeah, you got to watch that, Tasha. That didn't look good. That didn't look good. And it wasn't necessary. That was the part. Don't put yourself out into a position where you don't have to put yourself in a position. When you're doing these interviews, interviewing 101, pull yourself back, Miss Tasha. Don't say nothing. It doesn't matter what Tasha K thinks. You're just there to ask the hard questions. That's it. That's it. I mean, we could tell. Listen, and here's a perfect example. Gayle King. Gayle King is excellent. Oh, baby, Carl Thomas is fine. I ain't saying nothing about Carl Thomas. Carl Thomas has a thing about him. And like I said, this guy put me in mind of Carl Thomas, but the sweeter version. I don't know where he got that. I don't look gay. You do. You do look gay. And when you open up your mouth, girl, I was ready to turn on the house music, but whatever. Again, my gaydar and my windmill game is strong. Anyway, yeah. So I was saying, Gayle King. When Gayle interviewed R, we could see in her face that she was like over it, at a point she was over it. But she never came out and said, you did it. You did this and I don't like that and I don't care for that. She asked R. Kelly the hard questions and she didn't back down and she didn't let him go. She stayed stern, but at no point did she come across as a R. Kelly hater. She didn't. And that's definitely something. It's something to work toward. Something to work toward. And that's it. Like I said, this is not a video to bash Tasha. I like Tasha. She cool, but you got to work on that. You got to work on that. And sometimes you do skate that line, that homophobic line, and it gets you into trouble. I be watching, sis. I was a fan of Tasha back when she used to do her actual wine thing and all that. And then she switched over and started doing all this stuff she's doing now, which is great. I mean, that you're going into something else, but there's a way to actually do it. There's a way to do it. And you made me very uncomfortable in spots in this. So from me to you, and maybe you don't care, because she may never see this. She probably never see it because, it is what it is. But if somebody decided to tell her, child, tell her, keep that shit to yourself, honey. Nobody cares. No one cares how you feel. We just want you to ask the hard questions. That's it. I got a love-hate relationship with Tasha. A lot of people do, Angel. A lot of people do. They give Tasha they give her the blues. Yeah, again, she fixes it. So, she says things sometime, and then I think after she thinks about it, she is human. So they give her a little bit of leeway. But this could have went really bad. If the interview would have went longer, Tasha would have kept digging herself a little bit of a grave right next to that damn freak she was doing the interview with. But it ended, so that was cool. That was cool. But that was it. That's what I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to speak about that to y'all and see what y'all thought. I just thought the interview itself, little suspect. Yeah. little suspect. There was an underlying thing. You were throwing stones. That was a disgruntled side chick, and you were side chick 2.0. A mess. A mess. Not a person to be trusted, that's for sure. He's definitely not one that you would leave in a room with your man or your woman. Not at all. Not at all. Does he have no problem with sleeping with him and grinning and smiling in your face? With herself having been bragging about it. Anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Like I said, I just wanted to get that up and get it off. And yeah, I'll be keeping my ears and eyes open because I'm sure there's going to be more to come for this. But truly, I hope nothing physically happens to the little fella because I think he's skating into a real dangerous little place. But hopefully he'll be okay. Yeah, Chocolate Capricorn, get on over there and watch Swipe Left. It was funny today. We had a good time. We had a good time. Thank you guys. And for all of you all who do actually watch Swipe Left, I appreciate it. I appreciate it that you enjoy the work that I'm actually putting into it. For those of you who don't know what Swipe Left is, go to my YouTube page and click it. Episode 13 was dropped today at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Go over there and click it and get your life. Get your life.